Today I'm taking you on the Nugget Falls Trail. It's one of the most beautiful and accessible trails here in Juneau. But before we hit the trail, I'm going to show you exactly how to get here. Whether you're arriving by cruise or by plane, I'll show you exactly how to get here. Let's get started. If you're coming to Juneau on a cruise ship, this is where you're going to land. On the beautiful docks of downtown Juneau, right along the Gatineau Channel. If you're planning on taking the bus to the glacier, that's the building you're looking for right there. That's the parking deck for the Capital Transit Center. As you're walking towards the transit center, you're going to see this building on your left. A gazebo, a pavilion, anyways, that's what you'll see on your left. And across the street, you'll see City Hall. And in that building right there, through those doors, there's a public restroom you can use. Just look for that beautiful mural along the wall. Then, as you walk a little further, you'll see that Sealaska building right there, that white one. And across the street, right there, that's where you're gonna get on the bus. And it says Capital Transit Center right there. You'll know you're at the right spot when you see this sign. It says "Welcome to Juneau," has some information about the city, and then you can look at the map here. There's other spots of interest all around downtown. Those are the docks where you're going to land. And then it's just a short walk to the transit center. On your way, be sure to stop by and say hi to Patsy Ann. She's Juneau's official greeter, and she's been doing so since the 1930s. Here's some information about her life, and that's a picture of the real Patsy Ann. If you're coming to Juneau by plane, here's where you're going to arrive, at the Juneau Airport. And you have a couple options. You could take a rental car, and it's only a 10-minute drive to the Mendenhall Glacier, or you could take the bus, and the bus stop is right there, directly across the street, as soon as you come out of the airport. Here's a map of the route, and you're going to get off right there, as soon as the bus takes the left. This is what the bus stop looks like in real life. You're going to look for that sign that says Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center, 1.5 miles. And that's where the bus is going to take a left, at that intersection there. And here's a QR code if you want to download the bus schedule. And then before you know it, you're at the visitor center. And to the right of the sign there, that's the restrooms. They close at 7 p.m. Just keep that in mind. To the left of the sign, you're going to see the pavilion. I highly recommend stopping by. It's one of my favorite spots for photos. Look at that, great photo ops. And you're going to learn about the glacier as well, about how the cold air formed by the ice, how it affects the valley. You're also going to see the different features in a glacial landscape. Sorry, I don't know how many times I tried. I've given up. I'm just going to stutter over that word. Anyways, you can learn all about the different features in a glacial landscape and the patterns in a changing landscape and how it changes over time. Before you start your walk, make sure to stop by this fee station here. That way you can get your daily pass. It's $5, but if you wanted to do it ahead of time, you can always get it online. You just need to scan this QR code right here. And there it is right there, so you can take a picture on your phone. Right next to that fee station, you're going to see a wall with a bunch of information about all the different trails around the area. Today we're just going to do this photo point. It's a super short walk, so it's totally worth it. And Nugget Falls. Okay, so after you pay your fees, stop by the restrooms, you're going to come down this trail here, and the visitor center is on your right. Unfortunately, they were closed by the time we got here, but when they're open, you could take the stairs, or you can take the elevator up. They're open from Sunday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're closed on Saturdays, just keep that in mind. And the trail starts right here next to the visitor center. From here though, before you start this trail, just a mental note, this is the last bathroom stop, the visitor center, so when they're open, stop by and use the restroom before you start the trail. When you see this sign here, you can take a left to go to the photo point, or take a right and go to Nugget Falls. But today we're gonna do both, and I highly recommend you do both because it's just such a short walk, and the photo point is just so breathtaking, the views, even when it's raining like today. Now if you look at these rocks, look at the lines, look at how there's ridges like carved into them, and it shows you right here why, like how that actually happened, how those lines in the rocks formed. And it took thousands, if not millions of years. When this whole area was covered under the giant glacial ice, the boulders that were stuck between the ice and the rock, as the glacier ice would slide and move, it would carry them with the boulders with them, causing these lines and ridges to be carved into the rock below. Isn't that amazing? This is literally a page out of history written right here on the rocks. Now that we know how these ridges and lines occurred, how they formed, when you look at these rocks, can't you like imagine how the ice moved throughout the years? Look at that. You can actually trace back how the giant ice slid down those rocks. It's just incredible to me. I decided to film the walk up to the photo point all in one take. Okay, over the rocks, we got the rocks. But I decided to take it all in one shot, just so you can see how short of a walk it is. It's totally worth the extra steps. And then here's the photo point. So now we're back on the trail towards Nugget Falls. This is the beginning of the trail. Isn't it so beautiful? And it finally stopped raining. So at this point, I'm just gonna let you enjoy the walk. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, we are almost at the falls. Just a little more to go. See, we're right there on the map. When you see Romeo, you know you're close. And here we are at Nugget Falls. Isn't that so beautiful? Now let's back up a moment. Remember back about a quarter mile into the walk when we were right there? There's actually a beach access. You can walk along the gravel bar, and it's called the Gravel Bar Trail. And I'm gonna take you on it right now so you can see the other trail leading up to the falls. You can walk right along the beach. And as you just saw, I'm wearing rubber boots, so I came prepared for this walk. But if you don't have rubber boots, you can always step on those stones right there. Just be careful. It's easy to slip and fall, but if you come prepared, you can just walk right through the puddles. So as you can see, this route is a lot more scenic. You just can't go through here. That area is restricted. Arctic terns, birds, are nesting there. That's their nesting grounds, so we're not allowed to go and disturb that area. Right here. As you walk along the beach, keep an eye out for these giant icebergs. Well, I guess they're little icebergs, but they're giant pieces of ice that have broken off of the glacier. Here's another crossing. Again, you can use those stones to step on as stepping stones. Just be careful, they can get slick. Or if you brought rubber boots, you can just walk right through the water. Wow, look at that, guys. That is a piece of the glacier that broke off. They call it calving. You can't really tell from the video, I guess, but that is the size. It's bigger than a pickup truck. I would say that would be the size of like a big, maybe Ford F-350 or something. And that's just what we can see above the surface. Who knows how big it is, really. And just to show you, that's the glacier there where that ice broke off. And just last year when I got here, I moved up here to Juneau last May of 2024. All of this was actually covered with glacier ice. Just a few months ago, this corner here, sorry about that, that corner right there broke off. And there were actually people there, and they got stranded for a little bit, but they're safe, they got rescued, they're fine. But this corner here broke off, and this used to be much more fuller in the front. So in just 1 year, a lot of the glacier has disappeared, has broken off into the lake. Yeah, there we go. There's just one big piece right there. There's more pieces there, you can see. There's 3 pieces. So it's just constantly breaking off. And in just 1 year, I noticed a huge dramatic difference already. Wow. But there's the falls right there, Nugget Creek Falls. We're almost there. This last part of the beach trail, it gets a little tight, just so you know. There are a lot of exit points and entry points, so you can always get back on the main trail if you want to. There's one right there. So you can go back onto the main trail if it just gets too much for you. But I'm feeling like an adventure, so we're gonna keep going. Look at that. Totally worth the extra little hassle. Look at that view. Just incredible, isn't it? And this last little part, it gets extra tight. So if you wanted to, you can go back onto the main trail, because this part here is gonna get extra tight. Right here, you're gonna feel a little squeeze. And then to get through this area, I actually had to crouch down, almost squat down, and kind of walk on my knees kind of to get through that area. There you go, I just stood back up. So just so you know, it is a little bit of an obstacle course there, but that's another exit point to the main trail. So if you don't feel like going on a little adventure, then you can always go back onto the main trail. But I think it's worth the extra little effort just to get these views. I think it's just incredible. But at one point, at the end, at a certain point, both trails meet up. So whether you're walking along the beach or whether you walk the main trail, they're both gonna meet up at this point here. And then you're gonna walk down to Nugget Falls. To the right is another photo point, but I heard a big group up there, and you can kind of see them on the top of your screen there. So I just left them alone, and we're going to continue down to the falls. So that's the visitor center right there. We walked down both trails actually, the main trail and the beach trail. Met up right there, both trails meet up there, and that's the falls. Beautiful Nugget Falls. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, this is a must. You have to come and see this. It's so easily accessible. The trail is so easy to do. It's well maintained. If you don't want to walk this gravel path, then there is a paved trail. That's the main trail. And just today, I walked by 2 groups who had members in their party that were in wheelchairs. One group, somebody was pushing them in the wheelchair. Another group, they were in that electric wheelchair, so they were driving themselves. But that's just to give you an example. This trail is accessible to everyone. They made it so that whether you're elderly or very young, anybody can do this trail. It's only a 30-minute walk to the falls and then another 30 minutes back. In 1 hour, you can complete the trail. So I hope that you stop by if you're ever in the area in Juneau. That's the glacier right behind me. And this is just one of the places that you have to stop by. Even if you just have a few hours, you can totally make this trip. If you're planning a trip to Juneau and you wanted to come visit the Mendenhall Glacier and walk the Nugget Falls Trail, hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it gave you all the information you need to plan your day, know what to expect. And again, this is a very easy trail. Anyone can do it, and you're gonna enjoy your day. Whether it's cloudy, raining, sunny, it doesn't matter. It's still a beautiful trail to walk.